studio, Doug. Today we're working on a session and we're going to record some acoustic guitars, and I wanted to do something kind of nerdy and fun. There was a time when I did not have cool ribbon mics, and I was so curious what it would be like to be able to use them in different sessions that I was doing. So I figured, let's nerd out and let's listen to some of these cool ribbon mics. So I'm actually not even sure if the part will be best suited for ribbon, but I'm going to try it because it's Sunday and I want to nerd out a little bit. So I've got a couple ribbon mics here. This is a wonderful, wonderful mic called the N8. It's made by AEA. This is going to be one of the mics we're going to try. Also have up here the AEA 44. I wanted to try the AEA specific mics with the AEA mic pre. Because one, they're very expensive. You know, I don't know if I've ever captured the audio specifically for the purpose of being able to reference the sound of the AEA stuff through their mic pre. I have done an AEA mic pre comparison before. If I can find it, I'll link that video down below. It was very surprising and honestly one of my favorite mic pre's. And, you know, it sucks that it's expensive and that it's my favorite because, you know what I mean? My thinking was like, this is designed to be a nice clean mic pre to use with their ribbon mics so you can get enough gain. Also, depending on if you have the RPQ2 or the RPQ3, those are the models of the mic pre's or channel strips, you get a different style of EQ on them. So on the RPQ3 mic pre's, you get a low frequency boost and then a high frequency boost as well, which is pretty cool. And they're variable, I believe. Yeah. And the scope of the frequencies that you can select, it's variable and it's very broad. And I've actually used the high frequency shelves on these channel strips and turned them literally all the way up before, and it was just all good. There was no point where I was like, oh, that's too much. It's just like, yep, I like all of it. I like it down, I like it up, I like it in the middle. It's all good. So it really just depends, as you know, or if you don't know, on the part that you're trying to capture and is what you're doing right for the part. So we're going to get some acoustic, probably going to use this Martin trusty old D18 Dreadnought big body, and we're going to do some soft, you know, country. In fact, I might not use a pick. I might just use my fingers and keep it kind of a little more dull sounding. So let's try it out and see how they sound. Now this mic is particularly heavy, so we are going to use the Triad Orbit stand to make sure it's not moving or falling. Now, if you haven't seen them, here are the AEA mic pre's. I have the RPQ2 previous generation up here. Then I have the RPQ3 underneath it. And you can see this is actually what I use them on. Kick drum is my main sauce here because this mic pre sounds unbelievable on kick drum. The transients, the sustain, it's awesome. And then the top one is the Hat and Ride. Also sounds just beautiful, clean, like cooked, whatever that means. They just sound awesome. A couple fun little details here. So you've got your insert point if you want to do an insert directly to the back. You've got your phantom power phase button. This is your EQ bypass or engage. You've got your low frequency engage. You can see those when you engage them. And then here you have a gain range, essentially a plus 10 dB boost on your gain for certain ribbon mics. If you are recording a very low signal and you need more headroom, you can get that extra 10 dB with this switch right here. Fortunately for what I'm doing, I don't need that. We're getting plenty of juice coming in. Before I record the part, I'm just going to listen to it a few different ways through the pre. I'm going to play the guitar. I generally like to kind of move around my angle a little bit and in distance from the microphone to just kind of get a feel for proximity and depth. And then maybe we'll insert the EQ and kind of hear how things change with that, just for fun. So I'm going to point this back down. Get a lot of low frequency information from this microphone too. So you gotta be careful with an instrument like acoustic guitar that you're not getting too much rumble, but here we go. Right off the bat, absolutely beautiful acoustic sound. Okay, so that's, I'm using a pick. By the way, if you are recording acoustic guitar players, have them play the corner of the pick anytime they can, because here's the difference in sound. This is the corner of the pick. And then here's the tip of the pick. You're getting a lot more of that plucking. You hear more of the pick. This is like a few inches away from the 12th fret, kind of at an angle here. And then back a little bit. All right, now let's kick on this EQ. We'll start with everything at 0. So this is everything at 0. Let's turn up the high frequency. Put it on 10K or so. So that's got to be 10 dB of juice here. This is literally all the way up, 20 dB. Turn it off. Again, high frequency at 10K with 20 dB. Really beautiful. Let's do just some finger stuff here. I'm gonna just leave it cranked because that's nice. Really low noise. Okay. So this is like pretty close. Again, high frequency, shelf still on. Getting a lot of low information, at least in my headphones here. Let's crank the high shelf. I'm going to pull it down to what looks like closer to 5K. So that's all the way up. Let's turn the EQ off. one. Okay, now I'm going to back off a little bit. That's 20 dB. Okay, so this is halfway, 10 dB. Don't mind the scratchy playing. All right, so now we're moving on to the N8. Fun fact, this mic is the active version, and it requires phantom power, so we're going to go ahead and turn on. I'll play kind of the same thing, I think, as I did before, so you're getting enough juice here. Wow, sounds so good. Just for reference, I'm like 12 inches, maybe 13 inches off the ribbon here. Let's crank it all the way up to 20 dB. I mean, at this point, everything just sounds incredible. Incredibly low noise floor. If you want a little less pick, or a little more. Obviously, the closer you get to the body, the more body you're gonna get. I kind of like to get this sort of like off-axis fretboard slash top of the body sound here. Let's turn the EQ off. So that's a 20 dB difference. It's fun, you know, it's fun just turning it all the way up. Let's go back down to the 5K. Ooh, you can hear that's really significant. Wow. So a lot of really nice articulation. Let's do something we haven't done yet. I'm going to go up to the highest frequency on here, which is interesting to do with the ribbon mic, right? Goes up to 28K. So let's turn the EQ off so we get a reference. All right, let's turn it all the way up. So actually, let's turn it off, and then we'll do it all the way up. So here we go, same thing. $28K all the way up. I think the moral of the story with both of these mics on acoustic is they're awesome. It definitely feels like the NA is going to give you a little more of an articulate sound. However, with the EQ, you certainly have a lot of control with the ribbon mic on here. Both sound really phenomenal with no EQ. And obviously what I'm looking for is something that sits right in the mix and is painting the picture that I'm looking to see in the song. So hopefully this was helpful for you. If you have any questions about these mics, I'll put links to them down in the description, as well as these mic pre's, the RPQ3. I don't know if the RPQ2 is still available. The N8, I know you can get in a stereo kit, and I'm not sure if you can buy it on its own. I would imagine you can buy it on its own. And then the R44, I believe the one I have is the R44C, which is the passive version. And yeah, I'm going to go ahead and record some guitar parts for this session now. And I don't know which one I'm going to use. Maybe I'll try them both. All right, thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Have fun recording.